Hello students, welcome to our session. In this session, we have taken part 2 of same chapter number 16. In our previous session, we have discussed about some topics of chapter 16. And in this session, we have discussed about first scarcity of water. Scarcity of water. Water is very useful for all living organisms which live on earth. As I said to you, the population of people on the earth increased day to day. So, water will use in many ways. So, we need different sources of water. In them, we have many less amount of water which are useful for us because almost water stay in which taste in salty taste and which is not useful for us. You have learned that nearly 3/4 of the surface of earth is covered with water. 3/4 surface is covered with water. Still we hear shortage of water at many places. At many places they have shortage of water. They have faced many problems for getting water for their use. Do you know that millions of people do not get enough water for their life? Especially during summer. Because in summer, people need much amount of water. We also need much amount of water compared to other season in summer. In summer, you can see in many areas, they have not the proper amount of water for their use. Some places face an acute shortage of water. They face many problems for getting water. At such places, taps are running dry. You can see long queue of people for water. Sometimes there are fights, marches and protests for demand of water because they have faced many problems for getting water for their use. Then we have here activity 16.1 to study shortage of water in your area. Try to study about shortage of water in area where you live. Collect newspaper clippings from magazines, articles and pictures related to shortage of water. Try to collect them. Paste this in your scrapbook. Now paste in your scrapbook. Prepare a report on shortage of water and present it in your classroom. Discuss the various reasons for this shortage of water. If you do this, then you can find out the many places in your area also there scarcity of water some people face. Because scarcity of water we can see anywhere. All people wish you much amount of water for their work, and it is dangerous for us in future. We will also suffer from this type of problem. Water is scarce for human consumption due to the following reasons. We have also some reasons, and because of these reasons we face the scarce of water. The water present in seas and oceans is saline and cannot be directly used for human consumption. We all know water which in oceans and seas they are also in saline form, so we cannot use them directly. A lot of fresh water is frozen in glaciers and polar ice caps, and it is not available for human consumption. Only 0.01% of water present on the earth is fit for human consumption. We cannot use all sources of water directly. Water on the earth is not evenly distributed. At some places we hear of flood due to heavy rainfall, and at other places drought because of lack of rain for years. Because it depends on temperature, atmosphere, and some places are deprived of water. In some places we see that they have much amount of water, and in some places they have no water. An important source of fresh water is groundwater. Groundwater is a source of water for wells, tube wells, springs, and many rivers. Due to increasing population, humans have interfered with the natural process of replacing of water. For example, water cycle. As a result of this, the water table is constantly going down, and because of this reason, we do not get rain properly, especially in cities, leading to scarcity of water. Because population also affect the water cycle, and it is dangerous for people. If we do not get a proper amount of rain, then we have no water for our use. You can see here in figure 16.5, scarcity of water. In some areas, people have faced like these problems. They have standing in queues. Sometimes they fight to each other for getting water. You can see here in the picture. They have faced like these problems. If we also not save our water, if we do not try to stop pollution in atmosphere, then all people will suffer from like this problem. Due to various human activities, water bodies are getting polluted, result in deterioration of water quality. This polluted water cannot be used directly by us. Many industrial areas always mix their dirty things in rivers. You can see here water pollution in figure 16.6. These chemicals make water very polluted, so we cannot use them directly, and this also affect on life of people. Effect of water scarcity on plants. Water scarcity also affect on plants. What will happen if you do not water the plants at home for 2 or 3 days? What happened there? Potted plants wilt and ultimately dry in the absence of water. They automatically dry because they do not get water. Then how they doing photosynthesis process and how they use water in their parts? You have already learned that water is needed by plants for various purposes. If water is not available to plants for long, the earth will lose its green character. If we have no plants or trees on the earth, then what happens? Then we will lose the green characters of our earth. And all green characters need water for doing their photosynthesis and other kind of processes in them. Human beings are dependent on plants because we eat directly food. But how we will get this food if we have no plants? Because all type of food which we eat at our lunch and dinner, they are come from plants from the farm. Farmer make their for us. If plants cannot get water, then how they will grow and how we will get our food? So human beings always depend on plant. They are dependent on plants. Plant provided food, oxygen, wood, and many other useful products, mainly oxygen. We all know when human beings breathe, they take in oxygen, take out carbon dioxide, and from where we get oxygen? We get oxygen from atmosphere by trees, by plants, because they take in carbon dioxide and take out oxygen, which is used by us. If there are no plants, there will be no life on the earth. No plants. Without plants, life is not possible on the earth, and without water, the plants cannot grow. So like this, the cycle is continuous goal. If the plant if not to get water, then we cannot live our life, because we need plant and water both for our life. Then depletion of water table. The water table does not get affected as long as the water drawn from the ground gets by seepage of water from various natural sources. But if water is not sufficiently replenished, the water table may go down. The major reasons of these of water table are as follow. We have here chart also available. Sources of water. First, rainwater, surface water, and groundwater. Rainwater is our main source of water. Then in surface water you can see saline and fresh. In saline, sea, ocean. In fresh, river, lakes, streams. And in groundwater, we take out this type of water from ground using hand pumps, tube wells and wells. This is sources of water. Try to make also this chart in your notebook. First, in our previous session I have told you to make water cycle in your note and also make this chart. Scanty rainfall. India is a big country. The availability of water depends mainly upon the rainfall. We all depend on our rain. Rains are convenient to a short period of 3 or 4 months. Most parts of the country therefore lack supply of surface water for a large part of the year. Also in India, the distribution of rainfall is unequal because of which we face floods and droughts every year in some or other parts of the country. Because we can get rain in only 3 or 4 months. If we do not get rain properly, then we have faced scarcity of water. The increasing population. Increasing population also affect on scarcity of water. With the increasing population, demand for constructions of houses, shops, offices, roads and pavements is also increases. This result in decrease of open areas like parks and playgrounds. This in turn decreases the seepage of rainwater into the ground. And for these purposes, men always cut trees for making their houses. Because of this process, we get less amount of water, less amount of rain, and because of this reason, we also face the scarcity of water. Because rain is our main source of water. At the same time, a huge amount of water is needed for the construction of houses, offices, roads, etc. Water table in some parts of many cities has got down to alarmingly low levels because population will increase, so they need houses for stay and they need space for making houses, and because of this reason they cut down trees. And if we cut down trees, it affect on atmosphere to getting rain, because we all know about the water cycle, how water cycle occur and how we get rain. Then increasing industries. Increasing in industries also affect on this. Almost all industries need water. All industries need water for doing their different work. Groundwater is mainly used by them. In groundwater we have more less amount of water available, and this is very pure water for our use. But industries area always use groundwater. With the continues, we will go on our next page. They depend on our groundwater. On groundwater, there is depletion of groundwater. Then agriculture activities. In India, rains are a major source of irrigation. A few places have irrigation system like canals due to irregular rainfall. Government make this type of canals for this or these types of area which do not get proper amount of rain, and because of canals they get water for growing plants and growing crops in the farm also. Even such irrigation systems suffer. In the absence of rainfall and irrigation system, farmers have to switch to groundwater for irrigation. To meet the demands of increasing population, agriculture forces an increase in the use of groundwater. It leads to decline in the level of water table, because they also use the groundwater wells in all farms. On farm you can see that they use water from river, and some types of farmer use well for getting water. Then deforestation. Deforestation is our major problem in nowadays for scarcity of water. Forests are being cleared to build houses, shopping complexes, offices, etc. People want to increase themselves, but for this reason, they cut down trees for making different places there. Vegetation slows down the flow of rainwater on land and increases the absorption of water by soil. Cutting down of trees and destruction of vegetation reduces the natural sources of groundwater. Because of this reason, we lose the amount of water we stay in ground. Then water management. In cities and villages which are not situated near any river or lake, groundwater is the main source of water in cities area. At some places, a regular supply of water is provided by a well-planned system of pipes. This system almost used in cities areas. Many a time you must have seen water leaking from water pipes. A lot of water gushing out of the pipes is wasted. This water is now become wasted. Also, a lot of water is wasted through leaking taps. These leaking taps also waste much amount of water. Even you knowingly or unknowingly waste water while brushing teeth, bathing, washing, etc. So always try to proper amount of water when you're doing this type of work. Which type of brushing your teeth, bathing, washing, etc. Some children also want to play while they are bathing, but they do not know they waste the water, and this is also very dangerous for us. If we doing like this, then we will face many problems in our future. Do you leave the tap running while brushing your teeth? Do you find out how much water is thus wasted in the months, in the time, in this daily activity? Try to count them how much amount of water you have wasted like this. Water is a precious natural resources. It is priceless. In order to make water easily available to us in future, we have to conserve it today. We have to protect, we have to save water. A few ways by which water can be conserved are as follows. How we conserve the water: do not leave taps running while brushing teeth, shaving, or washing clothes. Do not leave the taps running while you're doing like this work. Farmers should use better methods of irrigation, like drip irrigation, in which water is supplied to plants drop by drop instead of filling the entire field with water. Figure 16.8 shows us drip irrigation, how farmer can protect water. Construct dams and reservoirs to control floods and collect water. Using dams, we also collect water, which in future which are very useful for us. Recycle water in industries and use it as many times as possible before disposing it. Plant trees to slow down the flow of rainwater on land, to increase seepage of water into soil, because also plant to keep our soil fertile. Treat sewage and factory waste before disposing them into water bodies. Try to clear them. In figure 16.9, you can see here rainwater harvesting and its uses. How they make pure water, drinking water, pump, washing machine, toilet. In many ways we use water in our day. Repair leaking tap and pipes at the earliest. Recycle polluted water and use it for irrigation. Use always fertilizer water. Try to save water. Using in our this session, we have discussed about the topics, how they tell us how we save our water. They have given us many ways, and using these ways we can save our water. Okay, So students, always try to plant trees and try to save water. Both are very useful for our life. If we lose the amount of water and plants around us, then in future we have to suffer many problems for live our life. So always try to save them and always try to stop pollution, because pollution affects most in the atmosphere. In our this session, our chapter number 16 is completed here. Now we will meet in our next session with our new chapter. Till then, take care.